What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode, we're talking about the recent correction that is taking place on most of the major blue chip cryptocurrencies. I'm actually pretty surprised that this didn't happen sooner. It's something that we've actually been waiting for quite a while now. You can see, just briefly looking at Solana here, we have seen an explosive rally to the upside, sending us into extreme overbought conditions here, all the way up to 73 on the RSI. And you can see after this explosive rally to price ceiling, retesting major resistance, obviously correction is inevitable and expected at that point. So correction on Solana, we're going to talk about. XRP breaking through its uptrend here. That's an interesting one. We're going to have to kind of dissect this a bit more, see whether or not this makes sense to kind of tweak the uptrends, the charts here. I'm not entirely sure. The interesting thing is if we extend this might then help us a little bit more here. So it's very interesting to see us correct through that. That might tip the scale not in our favor here, but we're also going to look at Ethereum, which is now free falling to the downside. No surprises there. Bitcoin doing the same thing, major collapse in price here as it was just not supported. Early pre-day trading on the Russell 1000 shows us correcting to the downside here, and same thing more than likely will happen with the S&P 500. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. I would more than likely suspect to see correction take place. That's my thought. It's been something I've been, hopefully expecting for several days now. I'd honestly say the past week or two, ever since we confirmed closure outside of here, which was August 4th. So it's only been about 10 days roughly since I've had this theory of us needing to correct lower here. That might actually start taking place today. We'll see though. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. So guys, before we dive into the technical analysis, we made this video yesterday basically saying that we called it again, that we saw the major rally on Solana and XRP and a lot of these major cryptocurrencies. You can easily see the rally, the explosion to the upside here, us hitting price ceiling up top here. More than likely than expecting to see correction, which is what's taking place right now. Jumping to the CMC, you can see we're at 68 on the fear and greed. So we're a bit extended. We're not, overbought by any sense, but we're definitely a little bit on the overextended side here. But there's plenty of room for us to continue to move up. Not many of these cryptos are actually falling as hard as we wanted to or are expecting here. Granted, we're looking at things on the 4-hour chart, so we'll zoom out and start looking at the daily. It's not that big, but past 24 hours, the XRP is down 4.5%, a little higher. Doge is down 7.8%. Some of these cryptos are starting to teeter-totter and correct lower here, but I'm not really surprised or shocked because it's been inevitable. We have had so much bullish uptrend here. To see correction now is actually a good thing. So jumping to the daily charts, you can see this is not really much of a surprise. And there's probably a bigger chance we could extend this out and make it make sense here. But there's definitely some sort of descending fractal at play. I'm trying to zoom out and see maybe there's some newer technical indicator that we just haven't seen yet. Maybe it's a downtrend like this is certainly a possibility here. Not entirely sure. We're going to delete some of this stuff to kind of interlope what we have going on here. Let's remove that, extend this up. So you can see kind of now that I remove some of this, we are in some sort of larger descending fractal, some sort of lower high, lower low pattern here. But again, something to consider. This is bullish still. I know that's crazy, but there's a massive rally up. We have this lower high, lower low pattern downwards here. And as we fill in this gap, a decision certainly could be made. But either way, we have clear support in white that we're using as a floor. But as we consolidate, we need to breach this blue resistance for us to continue to, scurry on higher. So you can see actually after adjusting these charts here, we actually look pretty good. We don't look that bad all in all. If anything, us correcting, pulling down a support here is certainly a healthy, necessary pattern for us to continue to play out. And if we do so, we could even draw something like this in here, which then even more so concludes this kind of descending fractal that we have playing out right now. So I do personally think we're looking pretty good, and that this is only a healthy, normal, consolidative pattern that's pulling us back out of necessity. We can't just keep rallying to the upside. We need to see the inevitable pullback down to earth in order for us to head up higher. We're only retesting moving average here. And if we continue to scale out, just downwards for a little bit longer, I only think it would be a natural, healthy reset for the market in order for us to continue to scale upwards. Now, we'll do these trades on BYDFI, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange I like to use here on the channel. BYDFI just did a giveaway or promo a couple days ago, maybe a week or two ago. I'm waiting for them to give me the next event, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. But for the time being, you could take advantage of BYDFI because they still offer a big new user benefit sign-up bonus with the link down in the description. They do have bots. They do have market orders. They do have stop limit orders. They have take profits and stop losses. They have reduce onlys. I mean, they legit have everything you'd ever need on an exchange. They're an all-in-one trading hub, which is phenomenal. They have XRP to leverage trade, tons of opportunities here. They have this demo account, which gives you up to $50K in demo money to practice trading your skills, get familiar with the exchange, learn how to trade. It's that simple using demo money. So this way you don't have to risk anything. You can use real leverage and stuff like that. Then you can click live trade and test and really put your skills to the test if you want to. But moving past that and moving past Solana in a second here, you can see, or were we talking about XRP? Yeah, we were talking about XRP. So we're going to scale up and move past XRP. Looking at Solana now, or you can go back and forth with both. You can see kind of the correction taking place in these cryptos. XRP hit major resistance. Guess what? Now we're seeing a bit of a dip to the downside. Solana, no surprises there, hit a bit of resistance up top here on price ceiling. And guess what? We're correcting to the downside as well. So none of this is really surprising if you ask me. The fact that we've hit price ceiling and are starting to reverse to the downside here is healthy and necessary. I mean, after seeing this massive explosive rally to the upside, to assume that we're not going to correct downwards would just be negligent. We just saw almost a 19.15% rally to the upside here, became overbought, trading at 74 on the R side. To not expect to see a correction back down is insane. You shouldn't be in crypto if you didn't think, what goes up must come down at that point here. Moving forward from that, a lot of these other cryptos are starting to see their dip. They're kind of hitting a little too high, and now they're starting to catch, volume is starting to catch up to them. FOMO is starting to catch up. People are getting cold feet, and it's starting to see this descent to the downside. Crazy thing with like Ethereum here is it's just like uncharted territory at this point. So to see corrections right now is not really much of a surprise. We've been out of Ethereum for a couple of days now. I mean, you've had ample opportunity. This descending, broadening wedge here, once confirmed outside of here, we saw a nice explosion to the upside here. But since then, we had another ascending fractal, and then we broke bullish again. So it was a second opportunity, a third opportunity. And now we're seeing the correction. So the stop losses should have been in to capitalize and lock in those profits. But the other cryptocurrencies, they look okay too. I think we're going to see a little bit more consolidation between these. But the descent to the downside was no surprise at all in any sense. Bitcoin as well came back down inside its ascending broadening wedge here. This is interesting because this was bullish in my opinion here. So to see us correct back down, definitely got stopped out of that. But it'll be interesting to see if we're going to come back down to support here, because I can't extend this outwards and make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is not appropriate. We had it like this. So the fact that we've now seen this major bull trap here and have come back down inside this really shows you the rigidity and the strength of this support here, of how much the markets have downwards pressure. So there's a chance now we're going to come back down to moving average down 109K before we see any sort of bigger movements here. We got pretty high up and now we're starting to scale back down. Not really worried though. I still believe that even if we come back down to retest moving average, we still have major potential to swing to the upside unless we get some crazy manipulation in the market. But otherwise, I still think we look phenomenal here. And like I've been saying, like with the stock market and the Russell 1000, we've been needing to correct. So to see cryptos now do that, hopefully will influence Vong and the rest of these to also see us correct to the downside. So hopefully Vong starts to see us not landslide, but come back down naturally down to moving average here, because this is inevitable. And I think it will very greatly help the markets head up even higher here. Buy the rumor, sell the news. We had some nice interest rates and things like that coming to the market. That might prevail pretty soon. I don't know when they're going to release that information here with the confirmation. But even then, if we want to react and respond well to that, we can't be, floating at overbought this long. We need to come back down and then slowly head back up. So that's why I've drawn these two possibilities, these two indicators. Same thing with the S&P. I also believe we need to come back down before we can head up even higher. We can't just keep going at the rate that we're going. It's way too aggressive and way too fast. So we're looking for a correction, and then I believe we'll be able to scale up even higher. But with that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.